I don't normally start these videos like this, but I do want to talk about a couple of things. First off, I think there's like a new feature that got added to YouTube called like a hype button. At least I've seen it on mobile with different creators that I watch. You can press like a hype button and it apparently helps push the video in the algorithm. So if you enjoy this video, please consider going down to the comments and pushing the hype button. It might help me a bit. Also, if this video gets like at least 5 likes, I'm going to specifically give this guy a battle pass because he was kind of like just asking for it and I kind of felt like giving it to him. So this is not a regular occurrence, by the way. I was just kind of feeling in the mood. Anyways, welcome back to the next installment into the things currently wrong in OG and things that will be wrong next season series that I have here going on my channel. In my previous video, which unfortunately was not as long as I'd like it to be because, like, college and stuff, I didn't have time to get all my footage that I needed, but now I'm back. The college semester is almost over and I've got everything I need for this video. You guys are going to get quite the banger this time. Anyways, in the previous video, I made about 58 predictions, and only 9 of them were wrong, which gives roughly an 84% success rate for me. Now, in pretty much any case, 84% would be a pretty good number, a great number even, but in the case of me being correct about things that wouldn't get fixed, this is not good, like, at all. This is just goes to show the current state of the mode, how little, just really not a whole lot of care is being put into it, or at least not as much as it should, and there have been some good fixes. I'll give the devs a little bit of credit here and there. There have been good fixes, like they recently in the Chapter 7 launch, they fixed the rarity grid and the legendary coloring, which were 2 things that I really did not think would get fixed at all, but you know what? They did it, and I can't say anything negative about that. That is awesome. But it's really weird that they choose to do those things which have little or no bearing on the game, and don't decide to fix the multitude of stat issues, weapon icon and model stuff, things that really impact how the game feels. It's very strange where their priorities are. I'm also not a fan of how the marketing for this OG mode has been handled recently. If you recall, last season, when Season 6 OG dropped, we literally got nothing teasing it. No teasers, no Battle Pass teasers, no trailer, no blog post. There was nothing until the first, like, Twitter article that Fortnite Status posted, which was just an apology saying, sorry we suck at developing this mode and keeping it faithful like it should have been. There are so many bugs in this mode that the developers treat bug fixes like actual content updates, rather than what they really are, which is just fixing the issues that shouldn't even be there in the first place. Half of the shit that I'm about to go over, I don't even know how it happens. It just does, because these OG devs are just, they're gifted with a whole new level of fucking shit up that has never been seen in any kind of gaming studio before. But anyways, enough of my Debbie Downer talking out of the way. Let's go ahead and explain how this works for people who maybe haven't seen this before. So what I do in these videos is I have 3 tabs on a notes page. The first one is where I go over things that are currently wrong in OG, and these are things that I either find myself or that I find by looking through blog or Twitter posts from AlleyJax, Forsaken, all the OG guys that actually care about leaking and stuff, and also their Trello that they made, which has been very, very helpful for this with some things that I couldn't really find myself that easily. And then after that, I go over the patch notes for the upcoming season, the things that I put down that are relevant to what maybe could change. So for this next one, I've got the Season 7 patch notes pulled up, and then after all those 2 things, we go into things that I predict will be wrong in the next OG season. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and just get into the video. Now, for people who have viewed this series, like every episode barring the previous one, you will probably notice that this list is quite a bit longer than the other ones that I've done, and that's for a couple reasons. One of them being I've put a lot more info in here that I previously did not know, along with I've kind of split a couple of things up into different tiers. Like if a weapon goes through all 5 rarities, I have low tier and high tier variants right here. So just it's a couple of different things, mainly just I have more info than I used to. And now we're gonna go over the first thing here. They disabled OG until the 11th, which means we've got, it's December 3rd, roughly I want to say a week or so until OG comes back online, which is 1 week longer than every other mode. Maybe you could say that they're doing this in order to have it be like a big promo for OG Season 7. What I really think it is they just don't want people to play this shit. Epic Games hates how successful this mode is. They literally added bots the first day after the mode came out in an attempt to kill the mode. And, I mean, it didn't happen because the core audience who stuck with it, who are genuinely just fans of the OG gameplay loop and believe that it is, at least in my opinion, that it's just superior to the current gameplay loop with less bullshit broken items. Which might not be the case next season if we're being completely honest, but regardless, there are people who prefer the Chapter 1 gameplay over Chapter 7. Why keep them away from that for over a week? All you are doing is pushing away players who would have been playing your game. Anyways, moving on, let's actually get into the list now. Starting with assault rifles, the standard regular AR. The recoil is too high, the ADS accuracy is too low, the reload speed is 2.3, 2.24, and 2.19, which should be 2.28, 2.23, and 2.18. Uses the incorrect bullet tracers, the low ammo sound is missing, and it uses the incorrect firing animation. Now for the high tier assault rifle, it has the same issues as the low tier, but the reload speed and the low ammo sound are actually fine, and also its model is incorrect. I'm going to go ahead and show videos of what I'm talking about. Mainly the videos that I'm going to be showing are usually just going to be the accuracy of weapons alongside their models, if they happen to be wrong, their models and their textures. But I'm going to go ahead and say that some of these things on here might be a little bit wrong because, you know, OG is disabled, as I previously mentioned. So there's probably going to be some things on here that I'm not able to physically see because, you know, I can't play the mode. I don't know if it's 100% accurate right now. I'm just going off what I've seen on Twitter from Alley Jacks and the other boys. Next up, we got the Burst Assault Rifle. So fun fact, on the Trello board with all the Fortnite OG bugs, the Burst AR is actually given a special tag that says Most Broken Item Award. So I guess this gun is just the most buggy thing in the whole game, and you can certainly see that on here. Anyway, moving on. The Burst AR's issues are that its first shot accuracy resets too quick while you're firing, the walking, running, crouching, and hip fire accuracy is too high, and the initial ADS accuracy is too low, mainly in the first 2 bursts, but the sustained firing ADS accuracy is too high, the recoil is too high, it has the incorrect recoil animation, and its equip and reload speeds have pitch variation. Now for the high tier burst rifle, it has the same issues as the low tier.
Sans career. Undertale?
And its icon, model, and textures are incorrect, but the icon for some reason is fixed in Creative because the Legendary and Epic Burst AR in Creative have a different weapon ID than the one that's currently in OG. So, man, I don't know, just play the videos. You're also going to notice this might start getting a little bit repetitive, but unfortunately, every single assault rifle in this mode has some kind of accuracy or recoil bug. So for the next few upcoming weapons, you're going to be seeing a lot of these kinds of videos. I apologize in advance. For this next one, I'm going to do a bit of a double up just so I can get these two out of the way first. Now, for scoped assault rifle, the recoil on controller is too high, specifically on controller. I don't know how or why. It just is. Also uses the incorrect scope. Now for the thermal scoped AR, its recoil is too high on controller as well. The thermal colors are a little bit off. It uses the incorrect firing sound and it has incorrect bullet tracers. Let's go ahead and just play both of those videos real quick. Now with those done, we've got the suppressed assault rifle up next. The ADS accuracy is too low and all other accuracy is too high. The bullets have tracers and it uses the incorrect firing animation. Go ahead and play the video while I explain something. So the bullets having tracers is going to be an issue that you will notice on every suppressed weapon in Chapter 1, because their main gimmick in Chapter 1, aside from just being silenced, was that they had no bullet tracers. But now they do, and they shouldn't. Now for the final assault rifle to showcase here, the heavy assault rifle. The first few shots spread out too far and reset too tight. The jumping and strafing accuracy is too low and all other accuracy is too high. The recoil is too low and it has the incorrect icon. Here, I'll go ahead and play the video now. Here I put recoil is too low according to the Trello because in my personal tests, I really couldn't see much of a difference in the recoil. Maybe you will, maybe I'm just being a bit dumb. Next up, we've got the shotgun tier. First off, as a general thing, low tier shotguns are able to spawn in chests, and I'm putting this right here. This is probably intentional because this was like a quality of life change made in Chapter 2, but still, it's a loot pool adjustment that is not accurate to Chapter 1, so I figured I may as well mention it here, and this is also something that Epic Games themselves did not specifically state was going to be a quality of life change, so for all we know, this could also just be a bug. Anyway, moving on. The low tier pump shotgun, the accuracy is shifted down 1 rarity, so essentially every rarity of pump shotgun is more accurate than it should be. The equip sound plays too soon. It uses Chapter 6 impact sounds on some surfaces, and the client-sided firing sound is too loud. Once again, I've got according to Trello here because I really couldn't notice a difference in my headphones. At least, just me personally. Maybe you'll hear it, as I said previously with the other thing, but whatever. Moving on. The high tier pump shotgun, it has the same issues as the low tier. The equip speed is 0.433 seconds when it should be 0.366 seconds. It uses the incorrect equip animation, has incorrect textures, incorrect firing animation when hip firing, and it does not animate when firing or reloading. Now let's go ahead and just play those videos for you. Next up, the tactical shotgun. Its blue rarity structure damage is 75 when it should be 55, and I have a little note here. This was something they actually changed in the Simpsons season, because the purple and gold tac had stupid structure damages, but they nerfed them in the Simpsons season because they finally realized it was really dumb for them to have done that, but this change has not applied back over to OG. So just, it's still a bug, but it was fixed in regular BR. Now moving heavy shotgun, it cannot pierce players. Its firing mode is automatic when it should be semi-auto. The hollow sight on the weapon is green when it should be orange. This is apparently a bug on the normal heavy that's been a thing for years and has never been fixed. And it uses the incorrect crosshair. I'll go ahead and play the video showcasing the sight difference because you can also see the crosshair thing in there. The crosshair on the regular heavy shotgun, the one from old Chapter 1, is ever so slightly thinner, or like smaller, than like the one in OG. And I don't know why they did this, but they made its crosshair just different. They just gave the heavy shotgun a different crosshair back in the day. I don't know why. Now, final shotgun available, the double barrel shotgun. It does not have structure damage fall off. Its general accuracy, like every accuracy value, is too low, and its equip and reload sounds have pitch variation. Now, let's just go ahead and play that for you guys now. Now let's move on to the SMG category, where there's only 2 weapons here, thankfully, so it won't be that long. The submachine gun. It uses the incorrect model and textures. The low ammo salve is missing because of that bug during Season 5 that made it terrible. By the way, I'm featured in that video that AliJax posted. Let's go ahead and play that one. Yeah, he kind of shit on me, but let's not talk about that. Anyways, now the final bug with the regular submachine gun, the green rarity is vaulted from chests. Now, another funny story. I also had a part to play in discovering this, so I was talking like, or wait, no, it's like a little bit of a story. So, AliJax was talking about like weapon spawn rates, and I said something along the lines of, dude, the compact SMG feels way too common. Did they mess with its like spawn rates? And he said, nah, dude, check this out. And he accidentally was like, wait, these are the floor loot spawn rates. Let me go ahead and check out what's in chests. And then he found out from checking the loot tables that the green rarity is vaulted from chests. Anyways, so had a little bit of like a small bit of assistance in finding a bug. Let's just go ahead and play the model thing. Now, moving on to the compact SMG. It uses the incorrect model when dropped and uses the incorrect textures when held. So it uses the Chapter 1 textures on the Chapter 2 model when the weapon is dropped on the ground. But when you're holding it, it uses the Chapter 2 textures on the Chapter 1 model. For anybody who needed a little bit of extra description on that, how? How do you do that? Moving on, it uses the Surgefire SMG ADS sound. Use the incorrect reload animation and incorrect bullet tracers. Go ahead, play it. Now let's go ahead and go into the pistol category, starting out the semi-auto pistol. In case it wasn't obvious enough, this weapon's name is incorrect. It should just be pistol. It uses the incorrect textures and also the incorrect equip animation. Go ahead and play that. You're gonna notice this same issue with a lot of like pistol-shaped weapons. They all use the incorrect equip animation. They use like, I want to say this is the sidearm pistol's equip animation that it got in like Chapter 3. I don't know if that's true, but that's what my mind is telling me. It's just a thing that they applied to all like single handheld weapons that's wrong. Now we move on to the suppressed pistol. Its initial firing accuracy is too high, but it corrects itself when the magazine is near empty. Uses the incorrect firing animation, the incorrect equip animation, and the bullets have tracers. Let's go ahead and just play those for us. Now, moving into the hand cannon, it ejects an extra mag when you reload, and it uses the incorrect bullet tracers. This was, I remember people finding this bug. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. This genuinely pissed a few people off when they found out about this, because we really thought at the time that this bug was found that the hand cannon was the only weapon in OG that had no issues, and then someone noticed, huh, this thing ejects an extra magazine when you reload it. Why that happens? I don't know, man. Thankfully, though, the pistol category has a positive ending with the 6-shooter. Currently, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but the 6-shooter is the only weapon or item in OG that has nothing wrong with it. Confirmed. There is nothing that is inaccurate about the 6-shooter present in OG. Can we get a round of applause to the devs of this mode for getting one thing right? Congratulations, guys. Now, good news over, let's go ahead and get back to the bad shit, starting with snipers. Bolt action sniper rifle right here. The reload animation is wrong on every rarity in a different way. The blue uses the heavy sniper's reload animation, and the purple and gold use the chapter 2 bolt reload animation. It uses the incorrect scope. The gold rarity is not currently vaulted. It shows your reticle when you hip fire, and the projectile gravity is incorrect. Go ahead and show the scope and gravity thing. The gravity projectile thing is something that happens next season. I'm actually spoiling the patch notes, but like, it was really weird to like try and get this. So I hope the bar that I put there is enough for you guys to be able to tell the gravity is a little bit off. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Now to the hunting rifle, it also has the same issue, the projectile gravity is incorrect. This one was slightly harder to get because like the original hunting rifle, before they added the ability to like stay scoped in while you were reloading, it looked really off, and I didn't realize how quickly you would unscope after firing your single bullet. So I tried to be as close as possible when getting that footage. Hopefully it came out fine. And now finally, the heavy sniper. It uses the incorrect scope. It shows your reticle when you hip fire. The vehicle damage has a 5 times multiplier, and it knocks back vehicles when you hit them. However, you wouldn't be able to notice that it knocks back vehicles because the vehicle damage on this thing is so high that it just destroys any vehicle that it touches. And also, the reload animation frame rate is too low. What? Oh yeah, go ahead and play the video too. Whatever, man. Now, moving on to the explosive weapons. These all just, I'm gonna go ahead and just get it on, like, these all pretty much have incorrect VFX and stuff. The rocket launcher, it fires the chapter 2 rocket for some reason. I don't know why or how, but it does. The firing and explosion sounds are incorrect, it uses the incorrect VFX. The grenade launcher, the projectile sounds are incorrect, and the quad launcher uses the incorrect textures and the incorrect VFX. I'll just go ahead and play all 3 of these like back to back to back. Let's go ahead and do it. Now we've got another pretty hefty section right here. The minigun's got quite a few bugs with it as well. The second most broken item in OG, or at least the second most broken that significantly affects how this weapon performs. The standing still, walking, running, jumping, and crouching and ADS accuracy are too low, and the hip firing accuracy is too high. It has per bullet spread, so like basically whenever you're sustained firing, the spread like increases very slightly whenever you're like at your maximum bloom, which it shouldn't do. Its initial recoil is too high. The starting ammo is 24 when it should be 90, and it uses the incorrect bullet tracers. Go ahead, play it. Now we've got quite a few things to go over in a row. The utility items. Starting out with the grenade, the stack size is 6 when it should be 10, use the incorrect sound effects, and it uses the incorrect model when thrown. Go ahead and play that for us. Next up, the Boogie Bomb. Its drop size is 1 when it should be 2, and its fuse trail is incorrect. Thankfully, that's the only real thing that's wrong with it. Let's go ahead and play that. Now moving on to the Clingers, the stack size is 6 when it should be 10, and its structure damage is 125 when it should be 200. Next, Portaforts, the stack size is 2 when it should be 5. Now as for the Bush, it is translucent when equipped, it can block a bullet, and it generally just doesn't work properly most of the time. Like, just the coding behind it is very buggy. It's kind of like the one that wasn't used in OG. The one that they put into OG worked very, very well, but this one that they have here is just extremely buggy and just like does not function properly half the time. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it works but it doesn't block a bullet, and other times when you get hit with it, it just doesn't come off. It's really, really inconsistent. And finally, it uses the incorrect model when dropped and worn. Go ahead and play those for us. Next up, moving on to the Sneak Grenade that uses the incorrect sound effects, and so does the Shockwave Grenade. I'll go ahead and just play those two for us right here. Now moving on to the Rift-to-Go, you'll probably notice from the previous little segment that I showed, there's a couple less things here, and that's because there are some things here that I just kind of forgot to remove, because they actually did get fixed. The only thing wrong with this is that it has the incorrect icon. Its sound effects, I'm pretty sure, are correct, and there was a little issue, they nerfed the size of the on-use rift on the regular Rift-to-Go, a long while back, but I'm pretty sure this is fixed. I've tried many different things, I've tried moving around, falling from max height, going at my, the character's terminal velocity, and using the Rift, and it was able to catch me. So I guess that the Rift hitbox is fixed, so I don't think that's an issue anymore. We can move on to the Grappler. It grants fall damage immunity, which is so broken in OG, and it has 15 charges when it should only have 10. Go ahead, show that off. Now we move on to the Portafortress. It has the incorrect icon, and the tires don't really spawn in the base. Half of them spawn inside, the other half spawn out. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure this is one of the things that I forgot to get footage of, but I did get footage of the icon, so you get to go ahead and take a look at that. Yay! And now we move on to balloons. Balloons are in their Season 7 version. They cannot be used on vehicles, and the rarity grid is missing. For those of you that don't know, the Season 6 version of balloons, when they were initially introduced, they were a literal item that you held like this. You had 20 uses, and you would just attach balloons to your hand. They didn't go on your back. You would just hold them. You could hold up to 6 of them, and they were really, really useless. Another note that I would like to make is the rarity grid being missing on these. Do you want to know what happened with the regular balloons? They actually tried to fix this issue with balloons not having rarity grid. You want to know how I know? Because when I was playing the proximity chat mode during chapter 6 or so, I noticed that the regular balloons, the ones that were actually introduced in Season 7 and not in Season 7 OG, those had a rarity grid on them, which means that the OG devs mistakenly put the rarity grid on the wrong balloons, meaning these fuckers are able to actually access the regular BR loot pool. I sure hope they don't know how to, on purpose, because Lord knows what they would do. And now, our final utility item currently available, Dynamite. The throwing arc is wrong, it uses the incorrect sound effects, the fuse doesn't dwindle with the spark as it goes down, and the rarity grid is missing. This one probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense with me just speaking it, so I'm just going to go ahead and play the video for you guys. Now we move on to our healing item category. First off, with the small shield potions, their stack size is 6 when it should be 10. Now the shield potion, it heals over time, and the slurp juice, the item model on the ground is too small and it cannot be used mid-air. Go ahead and show off the item model being a bit too small. As you can see in this video, it is significantly smaller than it should be. Now moving on to the Chug Jug, it uses the incorrect model and it also uses the incorrect throwing animation. I have the video of the incorrect model, but I don't think I ever threw it because like you weren't able to throw things in like chapter 1, so it's not super relevant, but like I should note that when you are throwing it, it throws it like it's a regular shield potion. And not like the throwing animation that got added in like chapter 4, where you like hold it over your head and throw it like that. I actually don't even know if that got added in chapter 4. It might have been chapter 6. I don't fucking know. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Now to these next 4 things, we're going to rapid fire them. The medkit's the only one that possibly has an issue. It heals over time, which it shouldn't. Like, I'll go ahead and explain this one because it might not be clear. I'm realizing the medkit and the shield potion, when they were made into walkable healing items in chapter 5, they would progressively heal you rather than how it works in chapter 1 when you use the items, it would just give you all the health at once their use timer was up, which really should be how it is because medkits are super broken in comp. Anyways, moving on. The bandage, apples, and mushrooms, I'm putting nothing maybe because I really do not know if there's anything actually wrong with these, but like I couldn't find anything myself, but nothing confirmed. It's just they're possibly fine. So let's go ahead and move on to the traps. I actually don't know if I have anything to showcase for traps. I know you guys are probably so thankful that I don't have more shit to show here for you guys, because it's probably getting annoying at this point, but you know I love to be thorough with these videos, so I'll go ahead and just discuss the traps. If I do have footage, it will go here, and if not, which I probably don't, we're just gonna rapid fire these. Starting with the damage trap, use the incorrect sound effects. Friendly traps are not blue, and it's missing the reload animation and sound. Next, the cozy campfire, they can be stoked and relit. Now for the launch pad, there is possibly nothing wrong with this, I have no idea. The chiller trap, the rarity grid is missing, and for the mounted turret, it overheats after 50 bullets when it should only be 42. The overheat sound is missing, and the rarity grid is missing. Now let's go ahead and move on to vehicles, which I do have footage for. Sorry. Now as a general thing, trick music for vehicles is wrong. It uses like the chapter 4 added trick music, which is stupid. I don't really like it as much personally. It's probably just a subjective thing. I like the chapter 1 one more. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the shopping cart. The speed is too high, the handling is wrong, mainly in midair, and using a grappler as a passenger will actually eject you from the shopping cart. I'll go ahead and play this for you right now. Next, we move on to the ATK. Its handling is wrong, mainly in midair. And now on to the quad crasher. It can't fly, which it used to be able to. They added a band-aid fix earlier in season 6, and then after they did that, they tried to completely copy over the stats from 6.31 onto this current quad crasher, which inadvertently removed its ability to fly because the physics engine is very different from how it used to be in Chapter 1. So they tried to do a good thing, but it kind of backfired. And also, the boost doesn't break anything. I'll go ahead and play this. Now we move on to supply drops. The balloon health is 250, 500, 750 in solos, duos, and squads when it should be 500, 750, and 1250 in those respective modes. And the loot tables are just overall inaccurate. There is too much shit here to list, and I did not even try to put it all down. So just take my word for it. All I will say is that the deagle should not be able to spawn in it, and it is able to spawn in it. That's all you gotta know. Next up, the supply llamas. They drop 500 of each material when it should be 200 of each material. It grants 20 stacks of each ammo type when it should only be 10, and it can spawn rocket ammo. I did get footage of this. I'll go ahead and play that. Next, we move on to vending machines. They are 33% discounted, and they have a 100% spawn rate, which, to be honest, is probably intentional. I think everything in Chapter 1 that had, like, a chance to spawn has, like, a 100% spawn rate right now. So I'm pretty sure that the 100% spawn rate of vending machines is probably intentional. If nothing changes next season, I'm just going to take this off the list and ignore it. Next up, we got building. Material drop size is 30 when it should be 20. Because back in Season 4, they made a terrible, stupid nerf to reduce the amount of, like, material world drops from 30 to 20, and it was literally just an effort to try and make people, like, de-incentivized to build in the building game. And also, just a bit of a funny thing, materials are missing their rarity grid. And I put a little, like, LOL here because, like, this is kind of an unreasonable ask, because they can't exactly do this, because materials and ammo are something used across all game modes. If they were to change this specifically for OG, I think it'd be really weird. Then again, they did also add the rarity grid to regular porta-bunkers, so anything's possible. Next up, we move on to ammo. The max stack size for all ammo types should be 999 except for rockets. Light ammo drop size is 20 when it should be 18, and chest drop 2 stacks of ammo, and this makes all pistols give a stack of light ammo, including the deagle and 6-shooter, which, need I remind you, are ammo types that these weapons do not use, so they should not be dropping this kind of ammo. But they do, because of this really weird change. Next up, medium ammo drops are extremely inconsistent, like, especially you'll notice this in, like, solos. Like, the intended drop rate, or the intended drop size of medium ammo in solo modes is, like, 10 bullets, but sometimes you'll get, like, 14 or 18. This is mainly from, like, the thing that happened in, like, OG Season 1 when, like, they thought there was not enough ammo on the map, so they buffed ammo spawns in general from ammo boxes to give, like, 3 stacks instead of 2. For some reason, that is heavily favored for medium bullets. So medium ammo just gives an extremely inconsistent amount of drops whenever you find it. And also, like building materials, ammo is missing its rarity grid. And now move on to the next thing, the storm. The clouds are too high. And I thought that I'd be talking about a little bit more here, but in that blog post I mentioned earlier in this video, they actually changed storms to function exactly how they used to in Chapter 1, which is nuts. I cannot believe they did that. Genuinely, not even bullshit. Actual round of applause for that. An insane W change. Incredible for the mode. This has made it so much more enjoyable to play, like, compared to regular BR with its current awful, terrible storm zones. which is also another reason why I'm missing the mode so much. Please come back, please. I don't want to wait till the 11th. Just come back to me, baby. And now for a few miscellaneous changes I didn't think would like fit anywhere else. Starting, the overall UI is inaccurate, the lighting is a bit off, bots are enabled, skill-based matchmaking is enabled, the background is shifted slightly to the right. The ziplines are enabled in build mode. The zipline pole should be red. Zipline speed should be linear instead of like exponentially changing as you like go back and forth between places. Rifts are in the wrong spots. Slurp cacti are in the desert. The victory screen is incorrect. The devs have given up on weekly updates ever since Season 3. Sad, terrible times. On certain graphic settings, you can find Chapter 1 bushes scattered around in huge clumps. This is mainly noticeable on console. If you were to play OG on console, sometimes you just find a shitload of like the Chapter 1 bush just plastered in random ass spots. Now this is a big thing. This affects every single mode, except like the new Chapter 7 weapons. The recoil bug. I don't know if I have any footage of this on hand, but I am going to at least grab something to showcase it. Oh yeah, I'm going to showcase a video that I think either Jackoos or AliJax made, one of them. I'll put the credit on the screen. It basically showcases that like recoil, no matter where you are, whenever you're like pulling down the stick, it will always try to go all the way back up to the maximum camera position that it was originally at, which makes every weapon extremely difficult to control and just really needs to be addressed, and it's been an ongoing bug for like half a year and it still hasn't been fixed. Next up after that, gray weapons are vaulted from chests. The interact speed on everything should be like half a second. There are lots of map inaccuracies. There's too many to list or we'd be here all day. I don't feel like going through everything personally. Grass and bushes are wrong. Yes, I'm going to be talking about grass, but not for the reason that you'd think. I'm not like a Chapter 1 purist that's like, oh my god, the grass being the wrong type ruins the game, it ruins my experience. There's a legitimate reason to put this here, and it's because of performance. The Chapter 1 grass genuinely gives better performance stats than like the current grass that they're using with like all the effects that they have for like it trying to blend into the environment. Like genuinely speaking, the Chapter 1 grass is better optimized than like the current grass, whatever they're using. I think they're using reload grass right now for this. Genuinely, there's not even no reason to complain about this. This is like a genuine thing. I think I'm just repeating myself over and over again. I don't want to get stuck in an infinite loop, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on. Last three things. Down but not out bleed out time is 100 seconds when it should be 60. The loot pool spawn rates are very off. Once again, I'm referring mainly to the uncommon SMG being vaulted from chests. And also, chests are missing some VFX. I don't know if I have this on hand. I can't showcase it now because the mode is down, but this was something on the Trello. So take my word for it, take AliJax's word for it, take Forsaken's word for it. These are the guys that said it. And now, you might think this is the end regularly. We've got a couple more things. Vaulted weapons and items. Let's go ahead and have some fun. Starting out here with the Zapatron, the base damage is 25 when it should be 50, and the max charge multiplier is 6 when it should be 3. Moving on to the regular submachine gun, the Tech 9 from Season 1, the initial spread is way too tight. Next up for the smoke grenade, it is partially see-through when indoors and detonates on impact. As for the crossbow, the damage is 85 and 89 when it should be 75 and 79. The fire rate is 0.75 when it should be 0.6, and the reload speed is 2.25 and 2.14 when it should be 2.6 and 2.47. Now for the jetpack and hop rocks, I'm pretty sure there's nothing wrong with these, but I can't really confirm it. The tactical submachine gun, the equip animation is wrong, the reload sound is wrong, the near empty mag sound is missing, and it uses its save the world tracers. Now for the revolver, it uses the incorrect firing animation, the rare RPG, that's the same issues as all other RPG rarities, and also the spread is too wide. I think that the spread being too wide might also be an issue on the other RPG rarities, but this was just extremely noticeable when it came back, like accidentally as a spawn from cube monsters. It was very noticeable that this thing's spread was pretty damn big. And move on, the rare semi-auto pistol, it has the same issues as the other pistol rarities. The drum gun, its mag insert sound plays too early, and its weapon class is assault when it should be SMG. Now move on to the impulse grenades. The item model on the ground is too small. As for the suppressed submachine gun up next, the equip and reload sounds are incorrect, and the bullets have tracers. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Light machine gun, its sustained firing accuracy is too wide, the recoil is too high, and the stand doesn't sway. Now the bouncer, the bounce is 25% too strong just in general. Next up, remote explosive, these have quite the plethora of things wrong with them. The damage is 100 when it should be 70, the detonation sound is incorrect, the time between consecutive explosions is 0.5 seconds when it should be 0.175 seconds, the time between throwing charges is 1 second when it should be 0.15 seconds. It uses the incorrect sound effects, it beeps when placed, and the placed model has a weird black circle under it, and the item model on ground is way too big. Next up, the semi-auto sniper, it has the incorrect scope, the rarity is purple and gold when it should be green and blue, as the ADS zoom is not zoomed in enough, and it shows the reticle when you're hip firing. Next up, guided missile. The damage is 105 and 110 when it should be 74 and 77. The structure damage is 315 and 330 when it should be 400 for all rarities. The fire rate is 0.75 when it should be 1.33. You cannot rocket ride yourself. The missile shows up on the map. It's missing the rarity grid, and the rocket doesn't rotate when you turn, which is a really weird thing. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. Next up, dual pistols. There's potentially nothing wrong with these. And now the Fiend Hunter crossbow, its accuracy is too low. Next up, you might think this is wrong. We're not moving on to the Season 7 patch notes yet. We're moving on to leaked items, or items that are not quite out yet. Starting with the infantry rifle. The damage is 36, 38, and 40 when it should be 41, 43, and 45. The firing mode is automatic when it should be semi-auto. The bullet type is hit scan when it should be projectile. Use the incorrect sound effects and the incorrect bullet tracers. I so badly want the projectile infantry rifle back because this thing was really, really funny. People hated this shit, but it was actually pretty damn good. You just didn't know how to use it because you were ass at the game. What? I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Next up, scope revolver. It uses the incorrect scope. Suppressed sniper rifle, its damage is 110 and 116 when it should be 100 and 105. The fire rate is 0.75 when it should be 0.33. The reload speed is 1.9 and 1.8 when it should be 2.85 and 2.7. Use the incorrect sound effects and the incorrect model and textures. Now presence, there's possibly nothing with these. So for the boombox, its duration is 5 seconds when it should be 18 seconds. As for gliders, they use the incorrect icon. The Sneaky Snow Mando, the name is incorrect, it should just be Sneaky Snowman. The rarity is blue when it should be gray, and it functions how it did when it was reworked in Chapter 2 Season 1. As for chiller grenades, there's possibly nothing wrong with these. For bottle rockets, they use the incorrect VFX. For driftboards, there's potentially nothing wrong with these. And the Infinity Blade. We don't know. All that we know is that the files for it exist, but there is nothing present in those files. So now, that is everything that is currently wrong in OG. Over 381 lines of text and 10,000 characters. So now, let's move on to the Season 7 patch notes. Let's go ahead and get started. Version 7.0, the bedamned iceberg was added. They got rid of Greasy, got rid of Flush Factory, and they got rid of that one building at the very far end of Jeffrey Factories. That's just what I call these because it's where my homie lands all the time. They added planes, they added zip lines, and they reworked balloons to be how they are now. They updated the scope on the thermal AR and the scoped AR. They vaulted shadow stones, portaforts, chillers, clangers, the double barrel shotgun, and shockwave grenades. Do you really think this is going to happen? They increased the chance of the final circle ending on the outer edges of the map, and they added damage numbers specifically for vehicles in this update. Next update, version 7.01, they added the Infinity Blade. And planes now take 25 damage planes now deal 25 damage to passengers when they explode. And 3 days after version 7.01, they vaulted the Infinity Blade. Next update, version 7.10, there were a couple of changes made to the AK. They increased the ADS accuracy by 10% and the standing still accuracy by 10%, and they reduced the vertical recoil by 6%. They reduced its base accuracy by 30%, and they reduced the jumping and falling accuracy by 60%. They also updated the icon on it too. Balloons are now released by pressing crouch rather than pressing jump. The ground vehicles now slide when on icy surfaces, and sticking a landing on all wheels no longer damages the driver or passengers. There were a couple more plane nerfs in here too. Okay, yeah, that shows everything. They increased the damage from hitting objects by 50%. They reduced the damage reduction from boosting from 100% to 50%, and they now take damage from running through structures. They increased the damage from exploding from 25 to 50, and damage now applies directly to health. They adjusted the snow biome's ambience, they reduced the volume of the quad crasher's boost, they added vehicle health bar to the UI, and the infinite dab now lasts 10 hours in the lobby. Next up, version 7.10 Content Update 1, they added presence. In Content Update 2, they added the boombox, which was so fucking broken. And next up, we've got version 7.10 Content Update number 3. They added the silent sniper, they vaulted the 6-shooter and the gray, green, and blue burst rifles. They unvaulted dual pistols, they reduced the dynamite drop rate by about 40%. They nerfed the boombox a little bit, they reduced its drop rate by 33%, they reduced the health from 600 to 400, and they reduced the duration from 25 seconds to 18 seconds. This thing was so fucking ridiculous. They got more plane nerfs up in here. They reduced the knockback against players by 70%. They increased the damage taken from colliding with structures by 50%. They reduced the damage reduction from boosting from 50% to 25%. They increased the machine gun spread by about 75%, and the spawn rate was reduced from 100% to 80%. They also reduced supply drop balloon health from 500, 750, and 1250 to 250, 500, to 750. Next up, update 7.20, they added the scoped revolver, they added the glider redeploy item, and they reworked the minigun to be kind of how it is now. It now overheats after 5.67 seconds. They reduced the wind-up time from 1 second to 0.63 seconds, and they updated its firing sound. Next up, we got a couple of rarity changes. They reduced the balloon rarity from purple to blue, and they did the same thing with the... This is supposed to say stink bomb. We're gonna go ahead and ignore that and just act like it didn't happen. See, like nothing was even wrong. And they also reduced the scoped AR's rarity from blue and purple to green and blue. All snipers now have the same gravity as the heavy sniper. The first shot accuracy now properly works with icy feet and zip lines. They reduced the size of the center dot on the thermal and scoped AR scope. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit. There might not be... Oh yeah, this was a fucking massive update, I forgot. They changed a couple of trap spawn rate things. They increased the overall availability from floor loot from 3.98% to 4.73%. Campfire floor spawn rate increased from 0.26 to 0.73. I'm not reading all this, bro. Just go ahead and read it for yourself. I'll leave it up here for like about 5 seconds. Next up, they reduced the mini shield max stack size from 10 to 6. They improved ziplines a little bit. You can now change your direction without needing to jump off, and you now accelerate over time on ziplines rather than instantly being at max speed. Next up, if a wall is less than 30% above ground, an additional wall will be placed on top for free, and damage dealt from vehicles while riding no longer ignores shield. This includes plane explosions. They increased the infinite dab duration in the lobby from 10 hours to 11 hours. They reduced the volume of planes and the boombox, and they added a unique bouncing sound to Dynamite. Next up, the version 7.20 content update. Yeah, it's pretty good. They added snowmen here. They swapped the drop rates of minis and big pots. You can just go ahead and take a look at this for yourself. They vaulted the quad launcher, the porta fortress, and the grappler. They reduced the glider chest drop rate from 11.89% to 4.43%. They reduced the balloon drop rate from 7.58% to 3.24%. They reduced the quad crasher spawn rate from 100% to 50%, and they reduced plane spawn rates from 80% to 50%. This season, they vaulted like a lot of things. You're gonna notice that with like one of the previous ones, this one, and then this one, they vaulted so many different things in this season. Next up, the 7.30 update. They added chiller grenades, they updated campfire visuals, they vaulted the bolt, the remaining burst rarities, the heavy shotgun, and the regular submachine gun from season 5. And they unvaulted the silenced SMG. They reduced the dual pistol floor spawns from 2.24% to 1.38%, and they finally increased the building drop rate from 20 back to 30. And once again, you can see my gripes with this change. This was genuinely terrible. And they added a fuse sound to grenades in this update. Next up, the 7.30 content update, they added bottle rockets, they enabled environmental campfires, they vaulted the boombox, and they reduced rocket ammo spawns from ammo boxes from 12% to 6%. They increased the launch pad impulse strength by 28.5%, whatever that means. They reduced the dynamite chest spawn rate from 7% to 5.33. They removed snowmen from chests, and they lowered the volume of the chiller grenade beeping. Now, we're getting into pretty much the two final updates. The 7.40 update. This was when Epic got scared shitless because Apex was really popular and they had decided that they had to lock in and make their game actually good. They added the infantry rifle, they buffed the bush to work how it should be working now. They reduced the deagle structure damage from 150 and 157 to 100 and 105. They nerfed the rocket launcher by quite a bit. It can no longer be found in chests. They increased the chance of finding it in supply drops from 25% to 50%. They increased the reload speed from 2.66 and 2.52 to 3.42 and 3.24, and the purple rarity can now only be found in vending machines. They vaulted grenades and unvaulted clangers alongside Cupid's crossbow for a limited time. They reduced the mat cap from 999 to 500, and eliminating players now gives 50 effective health along with 50 of each material. Ladies and gentlemen, Siphon. Please. Please. I need this. My mom's kinda homeless. I live with my dad. I want to help her out. Next up, planes can no longer break through structures and large objects. Few more zipline improvements. They are now interact to use, and they grant fall damage immunity, and they now have a visual audio icon. Next up, the final circle, they increased its travel distance by about 48%, and they increased the shrink time from 45 seconds to 75 seconds. They reduced the initial turbo build timer from 0.15 seconds to 0.05 seconds. Traps now automatically place a structure when you use them. Snowmen are now destroyed when falling a long distance. They removed the HUD bar for the minigun overheat, which I really didn't even know was a thing. And they removed L2 spam for a very brief amount of time. Next up, the final update of Season 7, the 7.40 content update. This is when they added hoverboards to the game. And now, that is everything that I think could have a possibility of changing in this next OG season officially listed off. Next, we move into things that will be wrong in OG. Do you remember what I said in the intro? I said that we had 58 predictions last time. This time, we got about 65. So let's go ahead and just not waste any more time because I'm sure this video is already long enough as is. Let's get into it. Now for those of you that haven't watched, I'll go ahead and explain briefly. We have a definitely section for things I think will definitely be wrong, and a probably section for things that I think will probably be wrong. I'm more confident in the definitely than I am the probably. Let's go ahead and start out. Any incorrect weapon models, icons, and textures will not be fixed. The heavy shotgun sight will not change. The pistol, silenced pistol, and grappler equip animations will not change. Sniper scopes will not change. Snipers will not have their hip fire reticle removed. The bolt's reload animations will not be fixed. All explosive weapon or item sounds will not change. The item max stack sizes will not change. The bush model will not be fixed. The big pot and medkit healing over time will not change. Campfire stoking and relighting will not be removed. Ammo stacks will not change. Storm cloud height will not be fixed. The UI will not be fixed. Bots and skill-based matchmaking will not be removed from core OG. Low-tier shotguns will not stop spawning in chests. The background rotation will not be fixed. Zip lines will not be in their correct places. Weekly updates will not return. The SPAS equip speed will not change. Any incorrect firing animations will not be fixed. The compact SMG ADS sound will not be fixed. The pistol's name will not be fixed because it's just been so long and they haven't done anything to it. The Deagle's random mag eject will not be fixed. The gold bolt will not be vaulted before the rest of the rarities. The heavy sniper's vehicle damage and knockback will not be fixed. They are not gonna do shit to try and fix the minigun. It's like I said previously, this thing has been broken for so long that they're not gonna fucking do anything to try and fix this. It's a lost cause. The Boogie Bomb's fuse trail will not be fixed. Shockwaves will not get vaulted. I'm just predicting it. Epic Games sees shockwaves as too essential to the zero build meta to possibly ever even consider vaulting them, so they're gonna stay, unfortunately. I fucking hate shockwaves. Anyways, the grappler will not be fixed, dynamite will not be fixed aside from maybe the rarity grid, the mounted turret's overheat time and sounds will not be fixed, the vehicle trick music will not be fixed, vehicle in-air handling will not be fixed, double ammo spawns in chests will not be removed, the lighting will not be fixed, rift spawns will not be fixed, slurp cacti will remain in the desert, interact speed will not be fixed, grass and bushes will not be fixed, nothing currently vaulted will be fixed, you will not be able to build with the Infinity Blade when it gets added, because that was a thing you were able to do and it was removed pretty briefly after. All rarities of the burst rifle will be vaulted at the same time, the infantry rifle will be hit scanned, which I am correct about, at least so far, until the next update drops, possibly, which might change, and absolutely no chance in hell they add Siphon. There is no possible shot that fucking 2025 Epic Games would ever consider putting regular Siphon back into the game. There's just simply no way. And now, that's everything indefinitely. Let's move on to probably. The burst AR sound effects pitch variation will not be removed. The heavy shotgun piercing will not be fixed. The heavy shotgun will remain automatic. The SMG's low ammo sound will not be fixed. Spike trap VFX and sound effects will not be fixed. The materials dropped from llamas will not change. Vending machine prices will not change. Supply drop loot tables will not change. Shockwave grenade sound effects will not be fixed. All loot spawns will not change. Spawn rates of anything will not change. That's the same thing. Why did I put that twice? Why did I put that twice? Right, this next one's kind of a bold claim. I am predicting there will be no stat fixes. We have not gotten stat fixes in like a few months. Nothing since the massive blog post that Epic Games released at the beginning of Season 6 where they said, "We're sorry, we suck at our job. Here's a couple of things to hopefully tide you over and get you to shut the hell up." They haven't done anything since then. But anyways, the victory screen will not be fixed, the bleed out timer will not be fixed, planes will probably launch using fuel, any sound volume adjustments will not be made, and the boombox and bottle rockets will be enabled at the same time when they're added to the loot pool. How many things did I actually end up removing because of mistakes? Let me think about it. Well, whatever amount it is, it kind of doesn't matter because we're still going by the same rules. Anyways, anything as just hang on. Let me recollect. Those of you who've seen this series before, you know how this works. If I am wrong about at least 2 things in the definitely section of this incorrect prediction, then you guys will win a battle pass giveaway from me. If I am wrong about at least 6 things in this probably section down here, that is another battle pass. So 2 battle passes are on the line with my predictions being made. Hopefully you guys end up winning, and I am genuinely hoping so. My wallet's probably not hoping so, but I personally am because I want to see these issues get fixed. The entire reason that I make these videos is because I love this game mode. This is my personal favorite game mode in all of Fortnite. I genuinely just want it to be functional. And I'm just hoping that maybe someone will see my efforts that I put into here, see the efforts that everybody else puts in, all the people on Twitter who are leaking, giving Epic literal fixes for how to do the shit that they need to do, and just see the passion behind this game mode that all of our active players have, and actually decide, you know what? Maybe we should put a little bit of effort into here. Maybe there is a little bit of profit to be found in here, because I know you guys love money. Epic Games, I know, Tim Sweeney, I know you fucking love that bag, bro. Please, just give us a little something. We will be very, very grateful for it. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. I don't know how to end this. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Use my creator code. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. See ya.